to 11 Money Secrets TV. So I'm going to continue and share with you my life experiences. If you've been in pain and you want to go from living a life of pain and get out of the pain and get pain relief and move forward in a life filled with joy, happiness, fun, free, fabulous feelings, keep tuned in because I'm going to share with you what your life can be like. Now let's scroll back. If you were to look at the motion picture screen of my life, you go back to 2017 and I was hit by a bus when I was just 3 blocks shy of finishing a 16. Notice I flubbed that, but it's no big deal. You don't have to be perfect to do this. So I was just 3 blocks shy of completing a 16-mile bike ride. I was also probably about a month away from finalizing my divorce. We had already gone to court. I'm just waiting for the papers to make it official. And lo and behold, 3 blocks shy of completing that 16-mile bike ride, I got hit by an Orange County Transit Authority bus right off of Edinger and Gothard in Huntington Beach. I went flying. I suffered a traumatic brain injury, a neck injury, a back injury, a right leg injury, which to this day I still have a scar there, which I know that it's going to eventually go away. But that started a domino effect of instantly in that moment. Of course, I had a terrible amount of pain. I was so incredibly lucky that I didn't break any bones. I did suffer a traumatic brain injury, though. I had no short term memory for the better part of 2 years. I had blurry vision. I had terrible tinnitus, which when I would go try to go to sleep at night, it just got really loud. And any of you who have suffered tinnitus, you know what I mean. And it's a certain level during the day when you have the normal, noises of the day, but at night it gets really loud. And then I had such terrible vision impairment that I had to have not one but two pairs of glasses with two different prescriptions. I spent over $1,000 on two different prescriptions of glasses, neither of which worked for me. I had to not just use a magnifying sheet, but also on top of the book, I put the magnifying sheet, and then I also used a magnifying glass, as well as one or the other in terms of prescription glasses in order to figure out which one would work best so that I could actually read what I wanted to read. And at the time, in 2019, I was trying to read Becoming Supernatural, and I was determined because I knew that I needed to get this content. This book by Dr. Joe Dispenza, I decided was my textbook. It was how I was going to heal. I knew, luckily, my long-term memory was good. So I understood the mechanoceptive ways, how the brain mechanically functions to use your 8 neurosomatic systems of the body. I'm not going to get into those today with this video. You can check out my other videos on Love and Money Secrets TV. I talk about those 8 neurosomatic systems of the body in both Meditation Secrets as well as the Intuition Manifesto, and of course on the Becoming Supernatural series that I did, which is a read, a review, and a reply. So back to my story. So then I was obviously trying to get better and to heal. And every time, I had several neurologists. I had a chiropractor, and I had a trigger point specialist. God bless them all. And I remember when I would go to I had another also physician that was an incredible amount of help to me too. But the neurologist, it was so frustrating every time I would go see the neurologist because the neurologist would always, I would, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, every month going back to see him. And I would tell him, I'm like, Doc, I should be way better. I never get sick. I'm super healthy. I'm very athletic. I'm very much in shape. I've always been very active. And if I've ever gotten a cut or anything, I always heal really fast. I don't scar. And here it was, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, a year. And my leg injury was very much still opened and still just horrific, really horrible looking and raw and ugly looking. Not to mention the pain that, you don't see any end in sight. When you have a neck injury, when you have a traumatic brain injury, when you have a back injury, there's no such thing as a good position. It all feels painful. It's like this searing, sharp ice pick going through your neck and through your back. You sit. God have mercy on you if you decide to cough, if you decide to sneeze, if you have a hiccup, if all of a sudden you're startled. Oh my gosh, it was so incredibly painful. It felt like a dagger was going through my neck as well as my lower back at the same time. It was so painful, I can't even begin to tell you. When I would go to sit down, I had to be so ginger about sitting down. Just, oh my goodness. And then to sit down on my bed, just to lay my head down on the pillow was really quite an ordeal. So I know what that pain was like. And I gotta tell you, it sucked the chrome right off the trailer hitch. I gotta tell you, if you've ever seen a a chrome bumper on a car, or chrome on a motorcycle, or chrome on anything for that matter, chrome on a trailer hitch. It really, that pain is just because it doesn't let up. It's like all of a sudden you have this pain that goes up beyond a 10, from 0 to 10, 0 being no pain, 10 being off the charts, unbelievable. Now, mind you, I've been pregnant 4 times. I've gone through childbirth, you know, 3 times because I lost the first one. And I will tell you that the pain was worse, far worse with that than it was. And I don't know, I can't even begin to tell you. It was so, the neck pain and the back pain was so terrible. I would say, even though the leg pain was bad, it was not nearly as bad as my neck and my back pain. And then all the other things that ensued. I even had, because it throws your chemistry out of whack, I even had lesions across my chest. Thank God it wasn't on my face, that it didn't pop up on my face, but across my chest, I had these weird red lesions that started popping up. It just wreaked havoc with my neurochemistry and my neuroendocrinology that was in my body. And thank God I remembered. My long term memory was intact, but my short term memory was not intact. And for the better part of 2 years, really all of 2017, that happened in June of 2017. So the balance of 2017, 18, and even 19, I was unaware that I had no short term memory. I had, my daughter would call to my attention. She would say something to me in the morning before she would go to work. And in the evening, she's like, "Oh, did you do so and so?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "I haven't seen you since yesterday, or I haven't seen you for the last couple of days. First time I'm seeing you since this weekend." And she would look at me kind of perplexed. And she's a very, very respectful, very kind human being. And she never called me out on it, but she would just kind of looked at me concerned and kind of perplexed. And the first few times, I told her, I was like, "You know what? You think you told me. You were actively thinking of telling me, and you thought so much about telling me that you think you told me, but you actually didn't." And then the second year, I realized, wait a minute, she keeps on coming back to me telling me this. There's no way she could be wrong 100% of the time. And that made me realize, oh my gosh. The second thing is, I would read something, in a book, and I would read the paragraph, and I had just read the paragraph, and I had no idea what I had just read. Zero. It's as if I had never read it. So between that and thinking about what my daughter had said, I realized it's almost like those things didn't exist. And I realized, oh my gosh, I got to get my memory back. I got to get my short term memory back. My long term memory, perfect. And my long term memory, I kind of have a photographic memory, especially when I'm well rested. But short term, zero. And I would meet people, and normally I'm really good at remembering names, like first, last names, and phone numbers. In fact, true story. I had a mortgage bank, and I also invested in a real estate franchise. And one of the things that I was known for, that the processors and the loan coordinators and agents and brokers would always call to my attention. They're like, "How is it that you remember everybody's first, last name, their phone numbers, and the address, and sometimes birthdays?" And I said, "I don't know. It just seems pretty obvious to me. I just kind of clump them all together, and I associate this person with that person. And it just, I don't know. It's like while the active, the file is active, I would tell my, loan processor or my loan coordinator, I'm like, so and so phone number, da 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 da, on such and such street." They're like, "How do you have all this memorized?" I'm like, "I just do. It just you once you dial, once you type in their number a few times in your cell phone, it would just lock into my head, and then I was saved. And every time I would pull them up, I would see the number. It was just locked in there. But now with this injury, I had no memory, no short-term memory. But luckily, my long-term memory was good. So I remembered how the mechanoreceptive, how the mechanical, um, how the brain mechanics worked, how the visual, the auditory, the kinesthetic, the olfactory, the gustatory, the interoceptive, nociceptive, interoceptive. I was very well aware of proprioceptive. I was really aware of all that stuff because I learned that so many years ago. And I had taken so much training prior, and I basically have never stopped taking any kind of training, et cetera, et cetera. And so I realized what was required for me to rewire the neural pathways of the brain in order to get them to regrow. Now, I had to help my son, who came down with Guillain-Barré when he was 11 years old, and I had to help him basically grow back the nerves inside of his body. When he had Guillain-Barré, he was paralyzed from the neck down. Took him a year to recover, was in the hospital for 11 weeks, pediatric intensive care. God bless Children's Hospital of Orange County. They were an amazing hospital. 5.5 weeks there, and then 6 weeks at Children's Long Beach Miller Children's Hospital in Long Beach. And then it took him about a year to recover from that, and physical therapy, occupational therapy, aquatic therapy, and then, of course, a certain type of diet in order to foster the regeneration of not just the nerves, but also the muscles, because the muscles had been eaten. They had been disintegrated by the Guillain-Barré, by his peripheral nervous system, because his immune system had turned on that. So I do have a pretty extensive background in neurology. So back to my story. So now fast forward, we are right now, as I stand here, we are in Las Vegas. I'm here at a wonderful medical conference. And so, of course, I have friends that are, in this profession as well. And so they come from quite literally all over the world. And one of the things that I've been sharing with you on my YouTube channel is that every day is like Christmas. This video obviously is from my hotel room. This is not from my normal, you don't see any of the purple lights, you don't see any of the normal, this is my hotel room, okay? And truth be told is that I say on my YouTube channel all the time, isn't that a pretty view back there? So that there's a little bit of purple there, a little blue and purple. Truth be told that I talk about how every day is Christmas, and I still have my Christmas tree up at home as a symbolic representation that every day is like Christmas, and it is binary. And when I say binary, I mean that I am afforded the luxury, and this was a dream come true, and it's the life that I live now, where I get to be Santa Claus. I get to give gifts on a daily basis all the time. But guess what? The flow, that infinity signal, I get to give, but I also get to receive. And I get gifts all the time out of the blue, coming from the most unexpected places. So that's what inspired this video today. So I wanted to share with you because day one of this certification that we just got with the amazing Dr. David Snyder. If you're interested in finding out more about Dr. David Snyder, he is one of my mentors. I am a platinum member. I have received many certifications from the San Diego Hypnosis Institute and many integrative modalities, including a vibrational medicine modality. When I was in Costa Rica just in May, happened to be the week of my birthday, I happened to receive that wonderful certification that included a master Reiki certification. I got Kabbalah training. I got Russian Sistema training. I got, oh my gosh, too much to list here. It's the cat's meow. This is the magic bullet, but that's one level of the magic bullet. But back to today, I wanted to share with you guys. This is just more evidence. So as luck would have it, when I was in Costa Rica, my friend Al, who's traveled all over the world, he told me about these chips because the food in Costa Rica was amazing. The food is beyond delicious. They had the most incredible plantains, the most incredible seafood. They had what Cubans call congri or moros en cristianitos, and just there's no such thing as bad food in Costa Rica. The food was phenomenal. We had Costa Rican food, we had Argentinian food, we had Peruvian food. It was just unbelievably delicious. So he mentioned, and he's from Texas, but he's lived all over the world and traveled everywhere. And he mentioned something about Julio chips. And I said, Julio chips? What are Julio chips? And he says, oh my gosh, you don't know about Julio chips? And I said, no, what are Julio chips? What the heck is that? He mentioned some supermarket that they have only in Texas. I go, we don't have that in California. He goes, well, are you going to be, at Dr. David's in the end of July, through the 5th of August? I said, absolutely. He said, I will bring you some. So, people are nice and kind and everything, and he's such a sweetheart. Um, I thought, oh, I would love that. Not really expecting someone to deliver on something like that, because when you're traveling, it's kind of a hassle to carry things like that, right? First day, I got here on Sunday. Sunday night, I see him, and he tells me, "Oh, hey, how you doing? The Julio chips? I brought you the Julio chips." He had texted me the week before, telling me he was going to bring the chips, but I'm like, if he brings it, great. If he doesn't, that's fine. I understand, because there's limited space in your luggage and all that kind of stuff. And chips, they have air in them; they take up extra space. I'm a reasonable person. I would like to believe. So lo and behold, I got to show you. He didn't just bring me one bag. Look at this. He carried on the airplane. Look at this, is kind of big. Two carry-ons for me. The sweetest guy in the world. And so now I have these. Now I have, as you can see, I haven't opened them yet. Now the backstory is I was going to take them to the pool party that we had, Julio's. Of course, the video shows them backwards. And so I was going to take them to a pool party that I thought was going to be a small pool party with 30, 40 people. Turned out there's like, I don't know, maybe 200 people at this pool party. And they had chips and guac and salsa and drinks, and no one was in the pool. Everyone's like by the bar and dancing and talking and walking. So that's the first thing. So I'm like, wow, it's like Christmas. I'm like, OMG, oh my gosh, I'm so happy and excited that he brought me those chips. It is so amazingly thoughtful. The gesture just warms my heart. He is such an incredible sweetheart. You'll have to see another video. I'm going to have to do another video of some really cool things, unexpected things that we did when we were in Costa Rica. That was to the benefit of a stranger. This video is not about that, so you'll have to watch that at another time. So this live video, I just want to address this issue of it being like Christmas every day. You can go from a life where you're feeling pain to having your body reset, rebuilt, restored, rejuvenated, where your body is legitimately like, look at me. I don't have neck pain anymore. I don't have back pain anymore. My back went from being terribly painful and crunchy to my back doesn't crack anymore. It's not crunchy. It feels like Gumby. It's like it's elastic. And that can be true for you too. You can get your back pain. You gain your eyesight. You can get rid of the tinnitus. You can get rid of all those things. The lesions, my skin is like fine now. I don't have any lesions anymore. You can see here. In fact, I just had this neurologist who just told me, he goes, wow, your skin on your chest is like perfect. I would never say it's perfect, but he was saying, he goes, wow, I love the skin on your chest. It's just so smooth, so perfect. The color, just the texture, just everything. You have no wrinkles, you have no blemishes, and I'm like, to be honest with you, I never really thought about it much, but whatever. So now it's the end of class today, and I get a text message from my friend Nadine, who has been part of, she's one of my mates here, right? And we've been in Huntington Beach, we've been in Florida, we've been kind of all over. And she says, oh, hey, I checked in on Sunday. I know I've been really busy with all these other events in the area. I'm going to I brought you two gifts. And I said, you brought me two gifts? She goes, yeah, I brought you two gifts. She goes, and then so she texted me and she said, I left the two gifts with Stephanie because I saw that you were in the middle of a presentation, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm walking out with my friend Hester, who was in the vibrational medicine class when we were in Costa Rica. And I'm telling Hester, I'm like, every day is like Christmas. Look at this. Al brought me these chips. He didn't bring me one bag. He brought me two bags. He didn't have to do that, but he did. He brought me two bags. And I go, now Nadine is texting me. She doesn't know who Nadine is. She's never met her yet. And I go, now Nadine, my friend said she brought me not one, but two gifts. She left it with Stephanie at the front where the registration is for hypno thoughts. And I'm like, She goes, aren't you curious what it is? I go, well, to me, it's like every day is like Christmas. I keep on winning unexpected money. I'm manifesting these gifts from all these different places. And sure, I put an intention out, but I'm still shocked and surprised when anything pops up. And so now Nadine was the path of least resistance for the universe to deliver this. So check this out. So I go up to Stephanie, and there's not one, there's two gifts. So you have this bag. Look at what a cute bag, and how appropriate it says love. Is that not cool? And here's the other bag. So these are, look at how tall these are next to me. These are not little bags, these are big bags. So here's the first bag, and here is the second bag. Isn't it adorable? They have hearts and it says love. So I'm going to share with you what this is. So Hester's like, did you see what's inside it? I go, well, no, let me set them down and let me show you. And I'm like, when I go to look inside, you're not, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe what's in here. I was shocked because I figured, first of all, two gifts, not one, two. So it's got to be a little something. No, it's not a little something. Wait. Let me see if you can see the top of the bag. Can you kind of see what's in there? Okay. Dun, da, da. Let me see if I can even get this out one-handed. Let me show you. Okay, first I'm going to preface this. You're like, show it already. Okay, let me preface this by saying I love shoes. I love shoes. I love, 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 love shoes. I also love beautiful purses. Michael Kors is my favorite, one of my favorite designers. I love Michael Kors shoes, Michael Kors handbags, Michael Kors. In fact, I brought with me to this conference, I brought a Michael Kors jean jacket, a very awesome jean jacket. Wait till you see this. You can't imagine what this is. Look at dun, 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 dun. Are these not the hottest, cutest shoes? They're Michael Kors beautiful, beautiful shoes. Apparently there's an imminent National Weather Service's a flash flood warning in this area. Holy cow. Well, too bad, so sad. Not a big deal. I know how to do cloud bursting, so I'm not worried about it. Look at these. Are these not gorgeous? Ladies, for those of you who know, see the MK? These are Michael Kors designer. Is this not the cat's meow? I am going to wear these on a date. I am going to be rocking it out and styling it. So can you believe the generosity of my friend Nadine? Is that not the most epic thing ever? How can I not say that that I'm living a life where it's like Christmas? That's just one bag. And wait, there's more. It just gets better. So check out this second bag. So now I'm wondering what could possibly be in the second bag. How do you top that? Honestly, the generosity, I'm like blown away. So here it is. We're going to take this out. Look at that. Can you see what's in there? Okay. I am not joking. Look how frickin' fantastic this is. This is fantabulous. Fan-frickin-tastic. The cutest shoes in the universe, and my friends and gems, they are MK shoes again. You will see. Can you see Michael Kors? Let me see if you can see this way. Can you read? Anyone from Michael Kors organization, if you're seeing this, you know that I absolutely love and adore you guys. She got me 2 freaking pair of Michael Kors shoes, MK shoes. Can you believe this? Unfreaking amazing. Adorable, cute, sexy, hot shoes. Great for whatever date I'm going on. So heaven knows I've been busy in that arena for a bit now. Still don't have a boyfriend. There's no one that's really a contender yet. By their behavior, their actions, the cream always rises to the top, so we'll see. But I sure do have some very cute and sexy shoes to go with some very cute and sexy, very cute and sexy clothes that I bought not just in Costa Rica, I buy here in Vegas. I try not to buy as much in Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, because I don't want to look like everybody else. So I try to buy whenever I travel so that I have more unique fashions and I don't look like everybody else that's in my area. So I hope that makes sense. So I just wanted to share that with you because when I was going through the midst of my divorce and even right after that first year after my divorce, first of all, I was, you know, I was in the process of healing from that traumatic brain injury, neck injury, back injury. I was in a lot of pain. And because of that injury, I had a really difficult time. I wasn't really making any income. It was a struggle to make my rent payment. I went from a 3,000 square foot home, 4 bed, 2 bath. We sold that, walked away with only $6,300 during from that divorce, and I really had nothing. And so even food in my refrigerator, it's like to be able to make ends meet and to pay for my rent and then to have enough food to support myself and my daughter and my son. It was not easy, and I made it through. So I know what the tough times look like. I knew that it was a temporary situation, but damn, did it have to be that hard having to recover from a traumatic brain injury, a neck injury, and a back injury, leg injury, and everything else that went along with that. And apparently, for me, in my case, apparently it was. It also gave me a great deal of empathy for anyone who comes into my private practice that I can help guide them from that place of pain to pain relief so that they can go from pain to fun, fit, and fabulous. And I actively do use all sorts of different neurosomatic systems in order to help people heal, including some methods that I have pioneered that I discovered to heal myself that I then applied with my private clients. And then I've been able to up that ante in my arsenal of all the tools that I developed that I had have been accumulating for all of my life, spent over a million, probably 1,300,000 at this point, in education between undergrad, master's degree, advanced higher education, and all the training that I've received going all over the world for this type of esoteric, very covert knowledge. It's difficult to find the teachers that can actually deliver on the promises that they say that they can provide. And so now one of the tools in my arsenal is I'm able to also provide stem cell therapy for people, and they don't have to pay 5 to 10, 5 to 25, or $5 to $50,000 for a shot, one shot, or several shots during the course of the year. And I have, from I'd say from $300 to up to $60,000 a year are my different packages, depending on what a person needs for their health and well-being. That may or may not include stem cell patches. It all depends. We need to test your body to see what it is that you need. Some people aren't needing to heal from a physical trauma, like an injury, bike injury, car injury, bicycle injury, sports injury, maybe injury from falling off their own feet, down a flight of stairs, or developing some sort of chronic inflammatory like condition like MS or IBS or pancreatitis or muscular dystrophy or Guillain-Barré or trigeminal neuralgia or one of the cancers. I've had people with 2 forms of cancer, blood clots, neuralgia, been on multiple narcotics, including a fentanyl patch, and we've successfully gotten her off, where they went from being in a hospital bed, where they called me from the hospital in their hospital bed, and that was at the beginning of this year. After one session with me, they were actually standing up out of their hospital bed. Fast forward to May, they were actually driving around the block and going to work for a few hours a day. And now they are actually able to drive from their state to Florida and back. They're not 100% recovered, but they are definitely well on their way. So if money were no object, let's say if you are doing very well financially, but you don't have your health, I got to tell you, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Health is really important. It's very important because without health, life is very different. And I am grateful every day I wake up. I don't wake up in pain anymore. I used to wake up in pain, and as soon as I became conscious, the piercing pain just from a tiny little movement on my pillow or a tiny movement of my hips on my bed mattress. And then to try and sit up was an ordeal. And the only relief I would get was immediately to drink water and then go into 1.5 to 2 hours of meditation. Because in meditation, I was no one, nobody, no thing, nowhere, no place, and no time. I was disassociated from my body, and I was in the perfect 5D quantum realm. And that was a tremendous help. That's the only reason why I didn't use any pain meds. So I had to do a lot of meditation every day, every morning, midday, and evening in order to get myself into that healed state. Some of you can check out my video here on my Love and Money Secrets TV where I explain, what I did to heal from my traumatic brain injury. And you'll get not the entire story, but you'll get a sliver of information on how I did that. And there's probably like 2% left that still needs to be adjusted at this point, but I've been doing really well for quite some time now, for the last couple of years, and my practice has exploded where I have, for a couple of years now, I've had a pretty long, extensive waiting list. And the thing is, I don't work. I I am in a constant placation. When I travel, people always ask, is this for business or is this for pleasure? Is this vacation or business? And I go, it's workcation, but I feel like I'm on playcation all the time. Recently, somebody asked me, well, how many hours a week do you work? I go, I don't know because I feel like I'm playing all the time. I'm having a great time meeting lots of people from all over the world. I've been doing remote telemedicine probably since 2019 for sure. Prior to that, I was a little bit more closeted, but I totally came out unabashed in 2019. And that's when I finally said, you know what, that's it. I can't kind of keep this on the down low. And then people started referring other people literally from all over the planet and reaching out to me through DMs, they would text message me, somebody, a friend of a friend of a friend would either forward them a YouTube video or whatnot. So I'm just sharing that with you so that you know that that is a possibility that exists for you, because I don't know of anybody other than myself that talks about every day being like Christmas, where you get to give and you get to receive. You keep that circuit of flow going 24/7, 365. Christmas is going to come around in a blink of an eye, and my Christmas tree is already up because I never stopped celebrating Christmas as the giver and as the receiver. I got to tell you, the most rewarding thing is not when somebody pays me, it's when I get to see the transformation, when I get to see the relief on their face. Sometimes they gasp. They're like, oh! Sometimes you guys hear it on my meditation secrets or my intuition manifesto YouTube videos, where all of a sudden sometimes somebody will forget to mute themselves, and you'll hear somebody during one of the processes, they'll go, oh my gosh, they feel the energy all of a sudden, a shift. They feel all of a sudden electricity or a vibrational frequency that travels through their body. You can't put a dollar amount on that. I gotta tell you, it is the most, orgasms are pretty good. And if my relatives knew that I had even said that word publicly, they would probably be mortified. But I gotta tell you, it is one of the most incredible feelings in the world when you can help change and affect the life of another human being. You can bring them relief, when you can actually affect a transformation and a result for them. So I just wanted to share with you my experience today. I get to do this every day. Sometimes some days are bigger than others, but it's like Christmas every day. And I had friends and witnesses, like Hester was with me today, and here we have not one but two gift bags. Thanks to Nadine. I'm going to send her this video so she gets to see it. I'm going to send it to Hester too, and maybe put it in my classmates so that they get to see it. And thanks to Al. Al is so awesome. I'll probably send them this video too. I'm so incredibly favored and blessed. You can be too. And if you're curious about how to do that, you can reach out to me. I've got a waiting list on my private sessions. There's no question about it. And my private session prices are probably going to go up very, very soon here. But full price is worth it. And if you have something that you can't get from anywhere else and it works right away, and you can ask several, I'm in the process of getting better at getting some of those testimonials up and going, but my people feel it the same day of the session. Within 3 days, you'd be surprised at some of the results that they experience. Within 2 weeks, they're doing things that they had no idea prior to that private session that they would be able to do, let alone what they're doing in 30 days, in 45 days, 60 days, 90 days. I take them all the way out. writing their expectations within what they expect to be doing in a year, 3 years, 5 years, 15 years, all the way out to 20 years, believe it or not. And then you got to amend those, right? And it's nothing short of spectacular. Some will, some won't. So what? So this video, I'm just noticing right now, I had so much more to say than I thought. I thought this was going to be a little 10-minute video. It's 35 minutes long. So I want to thank you guys. I'm still wearing from the pool party my little wraparound and my bikini. But I want to thank you for just taking time to watch this video out of your busy day. If you or someone you know is interested in learning how you can affect a massive transformation in your life, putting pain where it belongs, in the past, behind you, putting anxiety, PTSD, negative thoughts, feelings, or emotions, memory traumas, maybe night terrors that have been plaguing you for a long time, for once and for all, learning a 3-minute method that I pioneered, that I used to help heal my body, head to toe, that can help heal you. That same method is phenomenal for jet lag. There was a gal today who's telling me she's from Jersey and she was having terrible jet lag. Her name is Debbie. And we got rid of her jet lag in just 3 minutes. There's a cool purple flashing light out there I'm just noticing right now. Anyhow, that's it, my friends and gems. Thank you for tuning in, tapping, and turning on to Love and Money Secrets TV. My name is Dame Lillian Walker. If you want to make it back to this YouTube channel, just enter in your URL, Dame Lillian Walker. If you're interested in a private session with me, put a comment below. Write interested with a hashtag. And if you want to go to my Facebook group or go to my Facebook profile, facebook.com, then Lillian I. Walker, that's Lillian I. Walker, and then comment on one of my posts, put interested, and then DM me. You got to comment on the post. If you don't comment on one of my posts and say interested, then it goes to spam. It's only those who mark interested. Then I know to look for you in my DMs, and then I can go to the spam because you've alerted me. Otherwise, and there's hundreds of people in spam. I can't get to them, all my spam. I can't even get to deleting all of them. So until we're Facebook friends, it won't appear as a non-spam DM. Does that make sense? Okay, that's it. And I hope I can see you on the other side. And if not, at least you'll get some of my free instead of my for fee content on YouTube, which that is a heartfelt, zero cost way of my providing something of value to you, because I just want you to feel better. Okay? Okay. Ciao for now, my friend and gem.